Alright, we back at it. We back at it. We are back at it. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute since I didn't tapped in with y'all. It's been about a week or so, but I'm back here, back with it. So we're about to go live. You guys know how we do. We want to go ahead and kick off that disclaimer, that disclosure, and then after that, we'll get into the trade recaps. And I've got a options training for beginners event kicking off for tomorrow. So I want y'all to get tapped in with that. If you want the link, just Discord or send me a shot in the DM. All right, Pretoranio, thanks for coming through. Sleazy Boy, what's going on? Thank y'all for coming through. So I actually needed to add that link to my bio, but I wonder, can I pin a link or a comment or something? That would be dope. Tropic Coconut, thanks for coming through. All right, so we're going to read that disclaimer. Y'all know how I like to get down. And after we take care of the disclaimer / disclosure, then we get into the trade recap. And then tomorrow, I'm going to say this a bunch of times during my live, but tomorrow I'm hosting a free options trading for beginners event. It's going to be on Zoom. That way we have more so of an interactive, immersive experience while I go over everything. But I'm just taking a moment to tap in with y'all because it's been a minute. So let's knock out the quick disclosure and the disclaimer. Please note that the following is not legal advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy any or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, so we took care of that part. If you're new to my live, my name is Curtis G, and what I like to focus on is options trading for beginners. Now, I know it's been about a week since I've been live and I've tapped in with y'all, so we just want to go over some of the trades that I did this week. It was a pretty calm week for me. I only took like 3 trades, and I'm learning, of course, that less is more, so I'm really challenging myself not to overtrade. But let's go ahead and go into the trading chat room. And so today was like a one loss was good, or how should I say it? It was 1 win and 1 lesson, 1 loss, right? So I had 1 profitable trade and 1 red trade for today. I put them in here in my Discord so people can see. Let me bring this down over here. All right, so let me go over here. So the first trade of the day, I got into some Walmart puts and it immediately reversed on me. I was able to keep that loss small and I got stopped out of my Walmart puts. But then I was able to bounce back with this Amazon play. And Jesus, I need to blow this up somehow or something like that. But basically, let me just go over and get over to TradingView so we can look at the recap of what I was checking out. All right, thank y'all for rocking through. Thank y'all for coming through so we can take a look at the trades. Now, a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was the beginning of last week, I also alerted to my Discord community that I was getting into Home Depot for a long swing, and that worked out pretty well. It worked out really great. Here is the chart. So we got into Home Depot, I believe, on the 6th or something like that. So it was right about here. It built up a little bit, dropped down, and then it just blasted off, even way up here. So that was really cool. We made a nice trade on Home Depot for a swing, which is really, really good. Yo, what's up, Torrance? Thank you for coming through. Derek P680, thank y'all for coming through. So I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to sound like a broken record throughout my live, but it's just because I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to get the information. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock West Coast time, I am going to be doing a free live options trading training course for beginners. So I touch on the beginner stuff, of course, during my TikTok lives, but tomorrow is going to be more so a front to end type of linear structure. So send me a DM if you want the link to the Zoom tomorrow for the options trading for beginners. All right, Toki says, hey, bro, what's your initial process choosing which company to get into? I thought HD would be fire. You're exactly right. Torrance Brunt, you're exactly right. I don't know if you saw, but I gave you a lot of shout outs, man. We got into Home Depot. We got in for the swing trade, and it turned out beautifully. Look at this crazy gap up. It gapped up past the 2 gaps above it. And if I don't know if y'all remember, but I've said this a couple times, I'm learning that gaps are kind of like areas where price really doesn't want to go. The market makers almost have to force it back down in there. And what we see here, look at this over here on the left-hand side, there was a gap down that was created, then another gap down. We tried to get in there and came back down. We stayed in this support and resistance zone. We got into HD calls right around here where I'm moving my cursor. This is where we got into HD calls, held onto it for a few days. I actually got out here at a nice little profit, but I should have still just held on because it boomed up here. All right. Toki says, I want a DM link. Yeah, just shoot me a message or a DM. I should have put it in my bio. I think I am going to do that after this live. I'm going to put it in my bio. I'm probably going to go live a couple of times. But tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. West Coast time, I'm going to do a full front-to-end options trading course for beginners. But Toki has, hey, bro, what's your initial process when choosing a company to get into? And so for the most part, my initial process, it consists of a couple things. But really, a big part of it is the contract activity, right? So the contract activity, if the contracts don't appear to have a lot of activity, basically a lot of open interest and a lot of volume, then for the most part, I'm going to stay away from getting into those contracts. I've been burned a couple times, like maybe just a couple months ago, I did a play for IBM and the price was moving good and everything like that, but I couldn't get out of the trade because there was nobody there to buy my contracts. And each time that I tried to get out of the trade, the bid and the ask, the spread dropped down so low, it was cutting into my profits in a major way. So that really taught me a lesson that if you get into some of these options plays where there's not a lot of activity, like open interest or volume, then you may have a hard time getting out of the trade with the amount of profits that you want, or even at a bearable loss. So that's the first thing, right? I like to look for a lot of open interest and a lot of volume on my trades, a whole lot. All right. So let me see if we can pull up some examples. Let's see. Sean says, DM link, please. All right. This is what I'm going to do. You guys bear with me. I'm going to put the registration link to the Zoom in my bio right now. I forgot to do that before I started this live. So I'm going to put the registration to the Zoom in my bio right now. That way you could just register and you'll get an email as soon as the class starts, or as soon as the it starts and everything like that. You'll get the reminder. But then you can also DM me as well. So you guys, my bad. I'm going to end the live right now. I'm going to put the registration link in my bio, and then I'm going to come back live. All right, I'm back live. My bad, y'all. Back live, but I added that link to my bio. So now you can just register directly. I put the link in the bio. It's already getting kind of warm. I don't know why. I already put the link in the bio. Yo, Ralph, what's going on? So I already read the disclaimer, already read the disclosure. I'm jumping on live to let everybody know that tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock West Coast time, I'll be doing an options trading course for beginners. I put the registration link in my bio. It's completely free. So all you got to do is just sign up for the Zoom link, and then you should get an email that reminds you, hey, when it's starting, and it gives you access and all that. So thank y'all for coming through. I see my boy Toki. Yo. Easton, what's going on? Jameson, what's up? Chris, Linda Wallace, thank you for coming through. Self-made, I see y'all. So like I said, if you're just joining right now, I had to restart the live. But tomorrow morning, Saturday, June 15th, at 10 o'clock West Coast time, I'm going to do a options trading for beginners course, linear structure. It's going to be on Zoom. So we have much more an immersive, full experience on the screen and everything like that. So if you want to join or if you want to participate, I put the link in my bio. That's why I restarted the live. So the Zoom link to register is in my bio for the class tomorrow morning. It's free. Don't have to worry about anything. It's just my way of giving back. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Yo, Trayston, thanks for coming through. Truck 10. So like I said, let's do some trading recaps. I'm going to sound like a broken record today because I'm just going to keep reminding everybody that that link for the class tomorrow is in my bio. But with that being said, let's get into some trading recaps. I always like to do my trade recaps for the beginners. So this was a play that me and one of my community members, who should be in the audience right now, Torrance Brunt, we mapped this out together. So a big shout out to him because he put this on my radar. So what he saw, and we're looking at the daily chart on Home Depot. This is the Home Depot daily chart. What he saw was that Home Depot had came down into this support and resistance zone. And so when we saw that, we also charted out together that there were some gaps to the upside that Home Depot needs to fill. So we actually got in, and I'm going to show y'all on the Discord. Let me go back. Let's go to the trading chat room. It's one of my favorite things to show y'all the receipts. It's always one of my favorite things to show y'all the receipts. All right, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? This was last week, I believe. And this was supposed to be a long-term swing. All right, where is it at? Where is it at? QQQ. When do we get in? All right, June 6th. All right, here it is right here. So you guys can see the receipts, right? You guys can see the receipts on Discord, June 6th. On June 6th, I said, good morning, PIU family. Here are my charting notes for June 6th. A big shout out to the community member Tazwa for spotlighting these during the Zoom session. So he spotlighted to me. I can't take credit. This is a big shout out to the community. We spotlighted Home Depot is in a support and resistance zone that was formed from September 5th going into September 14th. It just closed the gap that was created December 8th going into December 11th, and it has started to slight uptrend on the daily chart June 4th and June 6th. It appears to be ready to start moving back to the upside with two gaps that need to be filled above the current price level. I will be looking to swing some call contracts that expire 2 to 3 months out. So this was on June 6th. This was June 6th that we put this. So let's go back to the Home Depot chart so you guys can see. This is the daily chart. So here is where we're at. This is June 6th right here. So June 6th is when we got in. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me zoom in some more. So June 6th is when we got in right here where this green line is at. That's where we entered. We did have a dip down into this support and resistance zone. But look how it just boomed off after that. Just boom, boom. And then this crazy gap up. Beautiful gap up right there. So that was dope. That was super, super dope that we got into that swing trade. Now, I will say, just as a learning lesson, I was shook out of the trade. I was able to make a decent amount of profit, but I still can definitely be holding on and making more profits. But I did put a lesson into my community. So I just want to read it to you. So you guys saw, we charted it out, got into the trade. This was June 6th. I held on to it for a few days. But let me go back and show y'all exactly where I put it. So here it goes. So I got out of the trade June 11th. I said took profits on my HD calls. I was planning to swing these for the long call. However, while in this trade, I learned and was reminded of two things. One, when you see profit, take profit. Don't let a green trade turn red on you. And that kind of happened a couple times, right? When we first got into those Home Depot calls, they boomed up to the high of the day and then they dropped back down. And then what we saw the next couple of days is that it had to fight out of that support and resistance zone. And then number two, options contract pricing and values aren't always as linear as we would like them to be. This morning, even with the price way up, the values of the pricing was all over the place, and I didn't want to get caught holding the bag. Overall, I'm proud of how this trade panned out, and so ultimately ended up making about 20% on that trade, $170. I could have made a little bit more, actually could have made a lot more, as we see here, with this huge gap up on Home Depot. But this was just a beautifully executed trade in the sense that we charted it out. We waited for a good entry, and then boom, it just planned out the way that we wanted to. So that was dope. And I just wanted to spotlight this trade because that's how I like to interact and work with the community. We do some charting together. We have weekly sessions, weekly Zooms. We do charting, and then we break it out and we execute the plays. So this Home Depot one is good. And I still believe even now, there's still more room to run up. All right, let me make sure, double check any comments. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through. All right, Natalie, I see you. Let's see who's all in here so far. Let's see who's all in here. All right, we got George Gonzalez or Jorge Gonzalez. Thank you. Alex, Zay, InstaShop exclusives. Jawad, thank you for the follow. There's Joe, OG Mankind, C. Knoll. We got Chocolate Drop A62, Corey, and of course the homie Sleazy Boys in the building. So just a quick recap. We charted out this Home Depot swing trade. We got in right here where this green line is, and we held it through up to here, took some nice profits, but definitely still could be holding and making more money. But you guys know me, right? I am not a greedy trader. I don't need to have home runs and grand slams every single trade. All I need to do is have my base hits, and I let those compound over time. But like I said, yo, Ariel, thank you so much for the follow. Paul Boardman, I see you. King P3000. I appreciate everybody for running up the likes. So like I said, man, I'm just going to give y'all a heads up. This particular live, I am going to sound like a broken record. And that's mainly because I want to make sure as people come through the live, you guys all know that tomorrow morning on Zoom, I am going to have a free options trading course for beginners. It's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m. West Coast time. And it's just going to be a longer format. in a more immersive format than doing the TikTok live. You guys know on the TikTok live, I'm kind of like limited on my screen on how I can present the information. So I figured let me go on Zoom, get y'all to come through, and we can really deep dive, ask questions, and do things like that. Ariel, I appreciate that follow. Thank you so much. But now let's take a look at today's trade. So today was a one red, one green trade. That's how it goes. That comes, a couple of losses come with the territory. But let's go through. All right, so this was yesterday. Yesterday was good. So let me go over yesterday's trade because I haven't been live with y'all in a minute. So I'll show y'all what I was looking at. Let me see. Let's go all the way back down. Do some trading recaps. All right, so this was yesterday. I said, good morning, PIU. Still watching Amazon for a hit off either side of the broadening formation. And so I put in my charting notes. I always look at the daily time frame first. So this top chart that we see, each one of these candles represents 1 day of time. And then I go down to the lower time frame. And for me, I really like looking at the 30-minute candles. The 30-minute time frame, I really could just see the price action and things a lot better. And so this was that extra broadening formation that I was seeing on my Amazon chart yesterday. Let me go ahead and bring myself down a little bit so that we all could kind of see that a bit more. But that is what I'm talking about right here. So this was my chart on yesterday. And what I really like to do is I like to chart. Yo, GG Blue, thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate you. All right, so what I like to do is always show the receipts. I got in at 6:15, or I did this charting anyway. I did the charting before the market opened at 6:15 a.m. yesterday. And then we can go over to my trades. I have a specific channel for all my trades. And then we can see here, I got in. Let me make sure this is the right one. All right, yep. So here's yesterday. I got in at about 6:36, so right after the market opened. And then nice, easy profit. Dang, the screen looks so freaking blurry, but that's my entry. The screen looks so blurry. My bad, y'all. Let me see if I can blow this up for us so we can see it better. Does that make it bigger? Not much. Jeez, that looks terrible. Gosh, that looks terrible. All right, but basically, I don't know if y'all could tell, but it was a nice, easy 13%, $125. So just to kind of give y'all a little bit of idea of the numbers that I'm working with for all my new traders out there. So my average trade is about $1,000, right? So I usually use about $1,000 for my average trade and for my scalps, meaning that I'm typically looking to get in and out of a trade in less than 60 minutes. I usually aim for about 5 to 10% profit. For me, that 10% profit is a sweet spot, but it could be a little bit low sometimes. I might get 6 or 7%, or it could be a little bit higher, like this trade right here where I got 13% on Amazon. But this trade took place in 10 minutes, right? So we saw the entry right here at 6:36 over here on the left-hand side of the screen. And then we saw the easy exit at 6:46. So one thing I did realize, and I definitely want to encourage all of you, is to make sure you have and you use a trading journal. When I go back and I look at my trading journal, I've noticed that most of my successful trades are usually within 10 minutes or less. And so usually when a trade goes over that 10-minute mark, it kind of tells me there might be something wrong with the trade. But I just wanted to show y'all that. Chocolate Drop, thank you for the likes. Yo, Shannon, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much, Chocolate Drop 862. Big shout out to you. But a reminder, I'm going to say this again. Tomorrow morning, I'm hosting a free class, Options Trading for Beginners. Just a few things that I've spotlighted that I want beginner traders to know about. On TikTok, I'm a little bit restricted, so it is going to be on Zoom. Everybody could join. I got the link in my bio, so all you have to do if you want to join tomorrow on the Zoom, just go to the link in my bio and register, and you'll be able to join tomorrow morning. It's going to be at 10 o'clock West Coast time, 10 o'clock a.m. West Coast time. So that's, 11, 12, 1 o'clock if you're on the East Coast. But appreciate y'all for running up the likes. Appreciate you for running up the likes. So that's essentially, basically how I like to do my daily when it comes to my community, right? The way I like to do my daily is before the market opens, either the night before or early in the morning, I'll do a little bit of charting. I'll do some charting. I put what I'm looking at, what I'm considering, where I want to see the price to go or where I want to see happening. And then I have a channel where I show where I put the entries and the exits of my trades. All right. Thank y'all for coming through. We got a few people rocking with us. We're almost at 1,000 likes. But with that being said, I want to show another trade that I did today that I didn't quite get the opportunity to break down because it was in the middle of the trading day, and that was some quick puts that I took on Amazon. So like if you're just joining my live right now, I just said my average trade typically is about $1,000. I usually spend about $1,000 to buy my options contracts, and I like to aim for anywhere from 5 to 10% for my scalps. So right here was me entering in on some Amazon puts, and then quickly within about 6 minutes was able to take profits. Now this one I was much more conservative because the first trade of the day was a red trade, and so I wasn't trying to play around too much. I didn't want my losses to increase. I really like going into the weekend with a green week, or at least a green Friday. So I was much more conservative on this one right here, but I can't complain. $50 in a few minutes. Most people aren't even making that in an hour. Most of us are not making $50 an hour from our regular 9 to 5. So I do not complain about $50 in 6 minutes. But let me go over to the charts and show y'all what I was looking at. Now I got in at 8:37 my time. So just to remind y'all, I do trade in California. So if the timestamps may be a little different than what you're looking at on your charts, that is why. Here's the daily chart on Amazon. Let me go ahead and break it down to the 30. I got in at 8:37, and let's just take a look at what happened with the trade. I wish this was marked on how it was on my iPad, but let's go to 8:37. There's 9:30, 9 o'clock, 8:30, right about here. And so I'm going to use the replay function on TradingView so it looks better, so y'all can see what I saw in my eyes. So this is how the day has started off for Amazon, right? And I noticed that we were already kind of in this daily downtrend. So the first thing I did was, let me go ahead and show y'all my methodology, right? Write this down. Now this is a little steep. This was a little steep, but what I like to do is I'll draw a trend line, and this one's just a little steep. But then after I draw my trend line on the daily, I'll drop it down to a lower time frame, and then I'll tighten up the trend line. I'll tighten it up just a bit, just so it's more accurate, right over here. Something like that. That's how I broke it down. Let's zoom this in. So we're looking at the 30-minute chart, and I got in at 8:37. So if we look at how I drew that trend line, see it almost bounced right off this line. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then I got in on my puts right here, and then just went ahead and took it for that nice little scalp. So we can press play and see how the rest of it panned out. I got out with, almost 5% profit. I wasn't greedy, anything like that. Big shout out to Mocha Ray. Thank you for the live. And let's just press play on TradingView and see how it goes. Boom. So we see it was a good idea not to be greedy because price kind of stalled out, almost consolidated, if you will. But that's essentially what I was looking for. So overall, my trading thesis wasn't correct, but not being greedy is what saved me. So certain components like that will save you. Not being greedy, understanding when you need to get out, things like that. But it was a quick little easy win. And then now I'll just kind of do the same thing. So there was a question asked at the beginning of the first live, my bad y'all, about how I pick my stocks to trade. Now, another thing that I want to add to my answer is I'm learning, at least where I'm at right now in my trading journey, that really you want to find the same stocks to trade and learn their personalities. Now, every now and then there will be times where you find your setup on a different ticker, which is perfectly fine, but you do want to pick like 2 or 3 stocks that you just want to master. And I inadvertently learned or realized from reviewing my trading journal, this is why it's important to have a trading journal, that one of my most successful and most profitable stocks that I trade is Amazon. For some reason, the way that Amazon price moves, I really could just see it a lot better. So Amazon is one of my top tickers. Of course, Google's one of my top tickers. QQQ, Apple. Obviously, the tickers that have a lot of liquidity, especially when it comes to options contracts. That's one of the number one things I look for. So let's say, for instance, I happen to come across a random company that I don't normally trade, but the setup is just the way that I like it to be. If the options contracts don't have enough activity, meaning there's enough open interest or there's enough volume, I still won't take it. Because what I had to learn the hard way, and this was not too long ago, was when I charted out IBM. I did a chart for IBM. My setup was there perfectly. I got into the trade, but there was low open interest and there was low volume. And when it was time for me to get out of the trade, there weren't any buyers there. And the way that I needed to get out was to severely cut my profits. So that was a hard lesson learned. Like, I really won't even trade a ticker unless I see heavy amounts of options contract activity, a lot of open interest and a lot of volume. That's right. Yep. Brooke says, do you trade SPY? Every now and then, Brooke. Every now and then. I when it comes to SPY, I usually tell like beginners, including myself, I usually tell beginners that SPY is perfect for testing out different types of strategies because there's so much volume, there's so much price movement, there's so much liquidity that you can test out a lot of different strategies when it comes to SPY. So when my setup presents itself, I will get into SPY because obviously the liquidity is there. If you look at the options chain, you'll see tens of thousands of contracts for any strike price. So that's a good feeling because you know you can get in and out of the trade pretty easy. All right, any other questions? That's right, Toki Frank, just a gut feeling, or should I say FRNK. Yo, Roy Rodriguez, thank you for the follow. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else's comments. All right, Garrett 392 says LGVN has been good this week. Gonna have to check that out. All right. Lee V, thank you for coming through. Chase, I see you. Carla Jacqueline, thank you for popping up. I see you. Thank y'all for the likes. All right, we ran up 1.6K on those likes. Thank you. So I'm gonna say it one more time. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock West Coast, California time, I am gonna have an options trading class. It's gonna be on Zoom. You can go to the link in my bio. So you can register for it. It is free. Do the registration. That way you get that email reminder or whatever the case may be. You can have it added to your calendar just in case you forget. Because I know it's short notice. And I know we might get it popping or get lit this Friday night. Or maybe Saturday morning. We might just forget that we wanted to look at that training. So go ahead. Go to the link in my bio. At least register. And that way you're putting yourself in position to at least get the reminder. Or to at least put it on your calendar. All right, that's what's up. I appreciate y'all. So let's take a look at what else we did. We talked about, what was this, the Home Depot. I got stopped out of my Walmart today. It was a little too soon for me to be trading it. All right, this is the profits on Amazon we just looked at. All right, that was the Home Depot we just broke down. That was me still holding the calls. All right, let's take a look at XOM. So XOM was on the 7th. I took profits. What was the profits there? Another 13%. Let me see if I charted it out and put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord. Bear with me for just a moment. Let me go to the trading chat room. And let's see if we talked about ExxonMobil. This is Apple. That's ABV. I don't think it's on here. All right, Amazon. Here it is. Boom. June 6th. This was at 6:53 p.m. So the night before. I said, here are my charting notes for June 7th, XOM. I'm looking for this continued upward trend on the daily and 30-minute time frames. Entry on the bounce off of the blue trend line. This is an upside gap that needs to be filled, and that was formed on June 3rd going into June 4th. So here's my charting that I dropped into the Discord beforehand. Let me bring that back up for us so we can see it. So we have ExxonMobil. So this top chart, right? This top one up here is the daily chart for ExxonMobil. And what I've noticed is that we've been, of course, in this broadening formation or this pricing channel. I kind of feel like wedges, broadening formations, and pricing channels are all about the same. Of course, there's some distinct differences, but basically, ExxonMobil is basically trading in this zone, right? In this kind of pathway. We saw it kind of bounce off of this wall, go to the upside, bounce off this wall, come down, almost like ping pong. But then what I noticed over here was that we had 3 trending days upward with a gap up to fill. So this is what I was talking about. And this was on the night of June 6th, as we can see right here, preparing for June 7th. So when we go back over to my trades, so we can see, here we go. So on June 7th at 6:36, I got right into those ExxonMobil calls. Like I said, I typically spend about $1,000 on my trades. And then right here, that was my entry. You can see right there, that was my entry. I'll try to put the screenshots as quick as I can into my Discord so people can see. And so this was at 6:36 a.m. that I got in. And then I took profits, what appears to be at 6:40. So this was a 4-minute trade and made 13% or $144. So I'm hoping that makes sense. Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense for those of you that are rocking with me in this live. Did that make sense on the way that I charted that out? Let's go back so we can see it again, as a matter of fact, because I didn't really show us on the live chart. So this was on the 7th. Let's go back to the 7th. Let's go back to the 7th. All right. The 7th. The 7th. Where you at? Where you at? This is the 30-minute chart. All right. And here is the 7th. And I got in at 6:30. Oh, yeah, this was a good one. So let me go ahead and bring back the replay function on TradingView. So we'll go right here. And then now y'all could kind of see what I was looking at, right? We saw ExxonMobil. This is the 30-minute chart, right? It came down here. This was back on the 5th, bounced off of this bottom wall, or this broadening formation or pricing channel, whatever we want to say. It came up, and then it looked like it was rising, but then we had this strong drop down. And it was on this candle that I got in. I think I got in about here. If we break it down to like a 5-minute candle or a 1-minute candle, we can see exactly where it was. But got in, I just rode this up really quickly and went ahead and took those profits on that candle, just like that. It got close to where we thought it was going to bounce off of. And sometimes what I do too is I'll draw like I got to come up with a name for it. I don't know if there's an exact name, but like a support trend line, right? A support trend line that's still kind of showing where price may come down to. I know I got these lines all over the place, but basically that's what I was looking for. Got in on this candle, was in there for 4 minutes. We rode it up, getting up into here, and then went ahead and got out. Like I said, I don't need to be greedy. I'm a very conservative trader. I like to get my base hits, my consistency, let those compound, and then go ahead, exit the trade and get out. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Brooke said, do we trade SPY? Any other comments? So with that being said, do me a favor. This is something that I always ask. I'm always making sure. If you took any trades today, put a 1 in the chat if you logged them into your trading journal. If you took any trades, if you did any trading, I don't care if it's options trading, regular straight up and down stock trading, if you do Forex, if you do crypto, put a 1 in the chat if you put it in your trading journal. Mocha Race, put it a 1. All right. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It looks like Zivilistics. Almost Zivilistics. Put another trader that is failing. Put a 1 in the chat. Made 4%. Good job on your 4%. Good job for logging it into your trading journal. But like I said, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock West Coast time, I am going to do a free training on Zoom on some of the things that I feel that beginning options traders should know of, that they need to keep at the forefront of their mind. So if you do want to attend, it is free. I put the registration link in my bio so you can just register. It's just going to be a pretty straightforward course. Of course, I'll open it up for questions, but I've just been making a note of things that I wish I would have learned earlier in my options trading journey. So if you feel like joining that, or if you're interested, it's going to be tomorrow morning, Saturday, June 15th at 10 a.m. West Coast time. So all you got to do is just register now so it gets added to your calendar, or at least you get the email reminder from Zoom, because I know how it goes, right? We'll wake up tomorrow morning, we'll get busy with life or whatever we're doing on the weekend, and we might forget. All right, took ARM and exited. Nice. Big shout out to you on the 4%. All right, Liv C, thank you for joining. Thanks for coming through. That's right, it is the Zoom link. So it should allow you to register, so that way you can get in and get the email and everything like that and the reminder and add it to your calendar. If you got any issues, just send me a DM and then we can make sure you get in there. But completely free. Just one way that I want to give back to the TikTok community and everybody that supported me. Whenever I go live on TikTok, you guys always show me a lot of love. So I figured I could collect my notes for things that I've been seeing that I wish I would have done differently at the beginning of my trading journey. And I want to show all of you that tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm doing it on Zoom because when I'm on TikTok, I'm a little bit limited on, showing the full screen, making sure the visual experience is really good with everybody. So my goal is just to go on Zoom tomorrow morning, and then we can really get down and we can really get into some charting. We can really do some nice solid Q&As. That's what's up. Yep. But yeah, so I know it's been about a week since I've been live, but I did want to go over the trades that I've taken this past week. And I just want to answer some straight up questions. Some of the common questions that I get is, what's the average amount that I trade with? So right now, where I'm at my trading journey is I trade with about $1,000. I typically aim for about 5 to 10% profits. As a matter of fact, let me pull up my trading journal so we could take a look at it. Give me just a moment, y'all. I got a little bit of chaos on my desktop. It might take a minute to load up, but let's just take a look at how the June progress is going so far. And then I want to show you all. And Liv, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. But I do highly want to encourage everyone. I want to encourage everyone, please, please, please keep a trading journal. Please, please, please keep a trading journal. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. So you can have an electronic, like automated trading journal. One platform is called TradeZilla. I actually have signed up with them as well. And you can connect your broker directly to the TradeZilla platform, and it'll automatically log your trades, and then you can go back in and do the notes. Or on the other side, you could keep a manual trading journal. I highly recommend that you do it in somewhat of an electronic format like Excel. So this is what I have here on my manual trading journal, just to give you guys an idea. So I've got my entry date, my exit date, the symbol, the type, the style. Did I use a signal time? Did I stick to my trading plan? If there was a pattern that I was following, was there a pattern type? And then I have a column here for notes, lessons, and rationale, right? What was the overall theme, or what did I overall learn from the trade? I also have a column right here that's very, very important to me, which is emotional intelligence. You know, emotionally and psychologically, how did I feel during the trade? And then I list my improvement opportunity, my area of success, and then I have some of the data, right? The real numbers, so that Excel can use the formulas and calculate things for me. So I put the cost, of course, my sell, and then was it a profit or loss? And then we have the profit or loss percentage. So these are all my trades for Zoom. Not Zoom. These are all my trades for the month of June. And this is part of the reason why I want to do the thing on Zoom tomorrow, so it'll all fit on one screen so we could all see it. But so far for the month of June, I'm up $441. Like I said, nothing crazy, nothing super out of the ordinary. You guys can see all my trades here. Had some losses where I could have definitely done better with my stop losses, things like that. But one key thing that I want to tell the beginner traders and show all of you is my average trade for the month of June has been about $1,000. We can see here the most expensive trade that I did cost $1,096. But with $1,000, I've been able to generate about $440 so far. Halfway through the month, and I made $440. I have some more of my stats over here that I want to show y'all. So it gives me my average trade size, $964. My average trade performance is $40. So basically what that means is I can expect to make $40 on any given trade. My average win is $108. My average loss, though, is $141. The average percentage on any given trade is 4.86%. So like I told y'all, when I'm scalping, I like to aim for 5 to 10%. And then my average win is 11.93, which is just under 12%. However, my average loss is about 13. So I still got some improvement. I'm not going to front and act like I'm the super master trader who never makes mistakes. I'm definitely having to improve and get better and better. But then I also do this thing here to help me with my risk management. So I have my total account size. And then this is just my own personal way that I do it. I take whatever my total account size is, and then I divide that by 10. So I only trade with 1/10 of what my current account size is. So that's part of the reason why my average trade is about $1,000, because I only trade with 1/10 my account size. And that's one of the many ways that I do risk management. Now I'm going to break down tomorrow all of my risk management strategies in terms of giving myself longevity, because the name of the game when it comes to trading, as we all know, I'm preaching to the choir, that it's a long-term game. You got to be able to keep yourself in the game for a long time. All right, let me check out some of these comments. All right, Savvy J says, is there a fee for TradeZilla? Yeah, so it is TradeZilla. It is quite expensive. So if you're the type of person who doesn't use all of the features and functions of something that you have, I would say that you're better off probably doing your own Excel spreadsheet. If you are the type of person that really gets in and you make sure you get your money's worth, then TradeZilla is very worth it. But it is a little pricey right there. And I'll also log in. Let's go take a look at the TradeZilla. Yo, Savvy J, thanks for the follow. Eli says you can trade options on almost any broker. That's about right. Yeah, so I trade on Robinhood primarily, but I also have an account with Webull. I also have an account with Thinkorswim, which I guess is Charles Schwab now. I also have an account with Fidelity. Even though I use Fidelity for my long-term portfolio, I don't trade any options on there. I just keep all my long hold stocks there. Let me go ahead and let's break this down. All right, so I'm going to bring up TradeZella just so y'all can see what it looks like. Now, so far, the only kind of thing for me when it comes to TradeZella is they haven't quite connected the fees, the regulatory fees that you get charged on Robinhood, with how they bring over your trades to TradeZella. So there's somewhat of a discrepancy. I've reached out to them on Twitter and I was like, yo, because they put a post on Twitter and said, what's one way that we can improve the platform? And I told them, I said, yo, if you could connect the trades so it also accounts for what you paid in regulatory fees. And I'm just giving y'all that disclaimer because what you'll see here in just a moment is a slight discrepancy. But thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Give me just a moment so I can get into TradeZella right quick. All right, so right here, according to my trading journal, I'm at 441 for the month of June. But if we go to TradeZella, let me see, just to give you guys a difference. So here you go. Here's TradeZella. Here's my TradeZella platform, and it's saying my profit and loss is 446. But on my trading journal over here, it says 441. And the reason why there's a discrepancy is because TradeZella is not accounting for the fees that you pay for, the regulatory fees when you do options trading. And as we all know, or if you don't know, at least in Robinhood, the regulatory fee per contract is 3 cents, right? So if you buy 10 contracts, it's going to cost you 30 cents. And if you sell 10 contracts, it's going to cost you 30 cents. So you think about all the trades that I've done this month, and that's why there is a discrepancy here on my TradeZella. But for the most part, I'm up almost $450 a month. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to say that that's, the most money in the world, because we know it's not. But I'm really proud of it because, like I said, my average trade has only been $1,000. So with that being said, it lets beginner traders know what is possible, what you can do with an average trade like that. But I just wanted to show y'all that. Of course, we'll go into more detail tomorrow morning. Liv says, I know you answered this so many times, I'm sure, but what do you trade options on? I trade on Robinhood, Liv. I trade primarily on Robinhood, and every now and then I'll dip over into Webull or Thinkorswim. I'm going to keep it real. Robinhood's user interface, right, it's just so easy. But you have a lot more tools at your disposal with Webull and Thinkorswim, like trailing stop loss. And I'm getting to a stage now in my trading journey where I really, really want and need a trailing stop loss because I'm getting out of my comfort zone and I'm starting to let some of my options contracts run. Like how they say, let your winners run. So let's say, for instance, I've got 10 contracts. The trade is in my favor. It's a profitable trade. I might sell 7 of them and then let the other 3 run to see how they do. But what I would like to be able to do is have that trailing stop loss so that if it starts to reverse on those last 3 contracts, I still get profits. I don't think you can do that right now in Robinhood, or at least I can't find it. But on Webull and the other platforms, you do have a trailing stop loss. So I'll admit that I am in my comfort zone when it comes to Robinhood. I just got to push myself to get out of my comfort zone and get on those other platforms. All right. But yeah, so short and sweet. I just wanted to let everybody know, because I know it's been about a week since I've been live. I wanted to do some trade recaps on the trades that I've taken this past couple of days or this past week. And then tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. West Coast time, I'm going to have a Zoom class, live Zoom, on some of the things that I believe beginner options traders should know. And if you want to join, it is for free. Just hit the link in my bio. It's a Zoom link so we can get much more immersive with our experience and we're not limited to TikTok. But with that being said, I appreciate all y'all for rocking with your boy, and I'll tap in with you soon. All right, peace. All right, one more time. We're back at it one more time before it gets too late. Especially for my people on the East Coast. It's already 7:30 out here in California. It is already 7:30 out in California, so we don't want to be too late. I just wanted to give it another opportunity to let people know about tomorrow's options trading course for beginners for the free. The link is in my bio, so it's going to be at 10 o'clock West Coast time. It is free, so just sign up. But I wanted to tap in because I know in different parts of the country or the world, it is getting late. It's already 7:30 out here in California, so I just wanted to make sure I tapped in one more time with my TikTok community because you all show me the most love when it comes to me going live, when it comes to engagement. So I'm going to do one more disclosure disclaimer. We'll tap in on some trading reviews, and then we'll talk about tomorrow's free training webinar or course or whatever you want to call it. But let's knock this out really quick. So disclaimer/disclosure. Please note that the following is not legal advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, so we're tapped in. I see Alex, I see Scar, I see Michael, Luis, I see y'all, but I wanted to tap in real quick because tomorrow morning, for all my beginners out there at 10 o'clock West Coast time, I am going to have a free options trading course or webinar, whatever you want to call it. The link is in my bio, so you can sign up now. It's going to be in Zoom, and I'm deciding to do it on Zoom because I know that a lot of beginners have questions, and I'm a bit limited on TikTok on how to really engage and answer those questions. We've definitely had some pretty dope TikTok lives, but I feel like I should offer at least a Zoom course to really tap in and get in with the beginners. So let's do a trade recap. There's one over the past week that really I want to highlight. It's a dope one that me and one of my community members charted out together. So I always have to give a big shout out to him. His name is Torrance Brunt. He's a really dope community member. He does these daily quotes that he puts in our community each day to keep us motivated and keep us grounded. But he had put on my radar Home Depot. And I want to show you guys how we charted it out, what we looked at, and then how it came out, how it played out. So let's go to the trading chat room here in the Discord. So the way that I operate my Discord is I do my charting before the market opens so that at least my community understands or they have an idea of what I'm looking at. And then just in case I'm tied up with work or I'm in a meeting or something like that, at least they know what the general play is for the day or for the week. And so that's pretty much how I operate, right? I do my charting and I drop it in here. But I want to show y'all what we charted out for Home Depot because this one was definitely a beautiful trade. It had a little bit of testing in all the categories, right? Your patience, your sizing, your strategy, your charting, everything like that. Let me see if I can find it. All right, here it is. So on June 6th, I hope y'all can see that right there. On June 6th, it says, "Good morning, PIU family." The name of my Discord is Passive Income University. Here are my charting notes for June 6th. A big shout out to our community member Tazwa for spotlighting these during our session. So I just want to read the notes for you, and then I'm going to bring up the chart and then show y'all how it all played out because it was pretty beautiful. So for Home Depot, it is in a support and resistance zone that was formed on September 5th through September 14th. That's the orange shaded area here on the chart. It just closed a gap that was created on December 8th, 2023, going into December 11th. It has started a slight uptrend on the daily chart. That was June 4th to June 5th. It appears to be ready to start moving back to the upside with two gaps that need to be filled. These two gaps are shaded in white. And then I said I will be looking to swing some call contracts that expire 2 to 3 months out. So let me bring up the chart for us so we could all see it. So this was the screenshot of the chart that I put in. And I got to bring it over some more. Boom. But this is the daily chart on Home Depot. And it just came right down into the support zone. And this is what it looked like before we got in the trade. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Power Grab, for coming through. Crucial. I see y'all. Q My Dukes, celebrity in the building. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Thank you. Thank you. But I want to go over this trade because it just played out so beautifully to me. So, like I said, we charted out this Home Depot trade. This was the chart before we got into it, right? And this was on June 6th at 5:27 a.m. So I'm in California. And for me, the market opens up at 6:30 a.m. So this was about an hour before the market opened up. We did this charting. We actually did it the night before, but I put in all the notes in the Discord. Now let's go to TradingView Live, and I want to show y'all how it played out. And then I want to show you the receipts of me entering the trade, the screenshots. But basically, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'm going live right now because I know it's late for the people on the East Coast or different parts of the world. But I wanted to remind everybody, if you didn't get a chance to, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock West Coast time or California time, I'm going to be doing a free trading webinar. This is for options, a free options trading webinar. And so I want to do it in Zoom because it allows me to be much more interactive and immersive with you all when I'm sharing my screen, when I'm doing the charting. The beginners and those of us could ask better questions. I'm a bit limited when I'm on TikTok. But let's go over to Home Depot and show y'all how it played out. So here is the chart, and look at this. So we were looking at calls to the upside. We got in on June 6th. So we just saw how it was previously. This is the chart before. Yo, Chibozo, thank you for the follow. This is how it was when we charted it. Let me move it over. That's how it was when we charted it right there. Now that was June 6th. And then now look at it with this crazy gap up. Look at that. So on June 6th, let me zoom it in. Show y'all exactly where I got in at, I/we. So here is the daily candle on June 6th, and we got in on this green line. Now that day, it popped up, and that would have been a decent time to take profits too. That was nice. We did come down a little bit. Now the next day, it did gap down, but it stayed in the support and resistance zone, so it didn't trigger like a stop loss situation. And then boom, we just climbed out of it. And then look at these crazy gaps that popped up here, at least this one gap to bring it up. So this was just a great trade because it really had all the elements that traders will have to go through. Being patient, having to see that little drawback once it gets near your stop loss, but sticking to your trading rules, and then just seeing how the trade pops up and plays out. Now I want to show you all how it looked on my end when I entered. So let me go to the channel where I put my trades, and let's go back to where I put the notes at. So here it is. Well, let me go back to the entry. Where is it at? Here it is. So June 6th at 6:37 a.m. I got into those Home Depot calls. I got 2 calls actually for $810. I put the screenshot in when I got into the community. Boom, right here. I show that. So I try to do the best I can to get those screenshots in right away. But then, hold on. Let's go ahead and go down. We can see that was on June 6th. And then I said, as we go through, I did another play on ExxonMobil. We can break that down in just a moment. I said on, June 10th, that I was still holding my calls right here. So at this stage, they were making a comeback up $90 for about 11%. And then down here is where I went ahead and took profits. But there's some lessons here, right? So the trade ended up being green. But here is what I said. Let me bring it down just a little bit so we can see it. So I said I took profits on my HD calls. I was planning on swinging these for the long call. However, while I was in this trade, I learned and was reminded of 2 things. 1, when you see profit, take profit. Don't let a green trade turn red on you. And number 2, options contract pricing and values aren't always as linear as we would think they would be. This morning, even with the price way up, the values and pricing was all over the place, and I didn't want to get caught holding the bag. Overall, I'm proud of how the trade panned out, and so ended up making $170 or 20%. So this was a good, solid trade to me. It really tested everything that needed to be tested as a trader, sticking to the plan, doing the charting, stop loss, all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to tap in and show this again for all of you because tomorrow morning I'll be doing that Zoom free trading webinar for options trading. So if you are interested, it's completely free. Don't worry about any upselling or having to sign up for anything. I have the registration link in my bio. So if you register now, just in case you forget that it is tomorrow morning, you'll get the reminders, or you can get it added to your calendar via Zoom. So if you head over to the link in my bio, you can sign up for free and just register now. That way you have at least it locked in, and you might not have to worry about, forgetting tomorrow morning or getting busy or whatever the case may be. So I really wanted to show y'all that, really wanted to break that down. Thank y'all for tapping in. And I want to go over some charting. I want to go over some live trades. Yo, is it Cha May? Thank you for the follow. This lighting I feel like is a little bit harsh. Let's see if we can, what can I do? Let me see. Is it this? All right, that's a little bit better. Let's brighten it up. All right, maybe that's a little weird. I don't know. Now I feel like it's too warm. Yeah, it's too warm on the what's the name. All right, so we'll stick to that. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank you for the follows. So let's do another trade breakdown. Another one that came out real smooth. was this one on XOM. And so, like I said, I like to just do my charting beforehand. We'll go over to the trading chat room. But anyways, how's everybody doing on this Friday night? How we do trading wise? Do me a favor, if you're tapped in the live right now on TikTok, put a 1 in the chat if you logged your trades in your trading journal. That's very important. So put a 1 in the chat if you logged your trades into your trading journal for me, please. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you logged your trades into your trading journal. Give me just a moment. I'm going to go on pause for just a second. All right, user 4247047519579. Thank you for the follow. And they did log their trades in the chat. Now I want to show y'all another one. Where was that XOM trade that I was doing? All right. Let's go. All right, we talked about Roaring Kitty. All right, here is a good one right here. So this was on June 6th, charting notes for June 7th. So this was after the market closed. This was the night before. It was 6:53 p.m. California time. I don't know why the lighting just got really whack right now. But I said I'm looking for this continued upward trend on the daily and 30-minute time frames. Entry on the bounce off of the blue trend line. There is an upside gap that can be filled that was formed on June 3rd. So I'm going to bring up the snapshot of the charts that I put into the Discord for y'all to see. And I know it's not that good, but just rock with me. So on the top, this is the daily chart for ExxonMobil. And what I saw was we were kind of in this like pricing channel or broadening formation. You can see over here on the left-hand side where the cursor is moving, that price came down to this line and kind of bounced up. It traveled up to the top and then came bounced down. And then it kind of consolidated and formed some level of support here. Came back up and then bounced down. And then for 3 days, it created this trend up. So down here on the bottom chart, this is the 30-minute chart. So I really like to trade on the 30-minute time frame. So on the 30-minute time frame, this is what that chart looked like. And so let me go ahead and bring it up live on the XM chart on TradingView so we can get a better look at how that planned out. Some craziness in here. All right, let me go ahead and break this down to the 30-minute chart. Played out really nice. Where is it at? And it was, I believe, let's go back. We're talking about, all right, let me move that. Let's move that. But I just want to show y'all exactly how it was. Forgive these crazy lines. We were talking about, thank y'all for the likes. Thank you. What day was this? All right, so this was June 6th going into June 7th. And we are right over here. Here it is. This is exactly what happened. It's Zach Robbins. Yo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is exactly where it was at. This is what I was talking about. The line was originally blue, so let me change it back so we can see. Very simple. And I want you guys to know, like, I keep my trading strategies very simple. I really trade for the beginner traders out there, and I like to keep things simple because I know what, as I got started with trading, there was all these kind of complex strategies, and I'm not knocking them. You know, all the strategies work, but I realized that the more I keep my trading style simple, the more profitable I am and the better my performance is. So this is what I was talking about. Here we go on June 7th, right here on this candle. This is like right when the market opened. It came right down to this blue line, just as I was hoping for. We got into calls, it raised up, and then look, hit right at the top of this broadening formation or this trend line downwards and came back down. Yo. Ryan Williams says, do you post pre-trade? Yes, I do. So I do my charting, Ryan, in my Discord. So if you look here, this was on June 6th at 6:53 p.m. And this was for the next day for June 7th. So you can see what I was looking at and how I planned it out. So right now I'm just doing a recap on ExxonMobil. I'm going to read this one more time. So this is what I said. I said I'm looking for this continued upward trend on the daily and 30-minute time frames. Entry on the bounce of the blue trend line. There is an upside gap that can be filled that was formed on June 3rd going to June 4th. So that's what we saw right here. The price came right down to this line, and then it came on up and bounced up. So let me show you the actual entries on my Discord. So I have a specific channel my community requested so that there wasn't confusion, that I have a specific channel where I just post my trades, my entries, and my exits. So let's take a look at the Exxon. So here it is. So this right here was June 7th at 6:36 a.m. Right after the market opened, it came down and popped right down to that line we were looking for. I got 8 contracts, a little over $1,000. And this was a crazy trade because it only took 4 minutes. Got in at 6:36, 4 minutes. I hit my profit target. And I know it's a little blurry, but that's 13% or $144. So I do want to give you all a heads up about the general way that I trade. I am naturally a scalper. And most of my most successful trades are under 10 minutes. I'm not saying I'm the best scalper in the world. I'm not saying that's the only way to trade. That's just naturally what I've gravitated to. Now, the interesting thing about me is I don't really look at or use like the 5-minute time frame or the 1 minute, which is normally what you see scalpers use, right? Those very, very small time frames. I can admit to you guys, I'm just being transparent, that those smaller time frames, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, they look very noisy to me. The way that my eyes and my mind is set up, I really am not good at trading looking at a 1 minute chart or a 5-minute chart. For some reason, when I'm looking at the way the price flows and moves on a 30-minute chart, I do a lot better. So I just want to give you that bit of information. That's how I trade. But for the most part, looking at all of my data and the history of my profitable trades or my successful trades is usually within 10 minutes. All right. So Ryan, I hope that answers your question. Ryan says, do you also do crypto or not? I'm starting to get into crypto, but it probably won't be for trading, Ryan. It'll be more so for like long-term holds, Bitcoin, Solana, things like that. In this moment in time, I could change, but in this moment in time, I don't necessarily see myself trading crypto, just finding a few good coins that I can invest in for the long term and just putting those to the side. All right. Thomas Shelby, thanks for coming through. The Peaky Blinders in the building. Man, my bad about this light, y'all. I feel like this light is not good. But I'm saying all this to say that tomorrow morning, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I just wanted to tap in and go live again because tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. West Coast or California time, I am going to do a live full webinar or course on options trading. It's completely free. So all you have to do is just sign up to the Zoom link that's in my bio right now. That way you can at least add it to your calendar or get the email reminder. Because I know how it goes, right? It's Friday night. Some of us might be listening to TikTok Live right before we go out or do whatever. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to get started with life. And then we just might forget that, hey, there was that webinar by Curtis G to go over options trading. So at a minimum, at least just go sign up now so you can have that reminder sent to you. All right. Greg King, thank you for the follow. For sure, Ryan. All right, Jen says, will it be recorded? Yes, Jen, it will be recorded, but it will only be available, the recording will only be available for the people in the community. So if you're part of Passive Income University, the recording will be available for them. I might consider maybe just making the recording available to the general public for like a week. Maybe that's something I can do to give more value and to give to the options trading community. I just thought about that right now. So thank you, Jen. Thank you. I didn't even think about that. I think in order, because I want to do things that give value to the people that are in my community, but I also want to give value for people that are not in the community, right? So I think what Jen just helped me discover is I'll leave the recording available to the public for maybe a week or 10 days. And then after that, I'm going to make it private so that only people in the community that are in Passive Income University can see it. So a big shout out to Jen. I didn't even consider that. And that's one way that I can give value to both ends. All right. Hunter says, how would we watch the recording? So the recording will be on YouTube. Let me show you guys the YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel called Passive Income University. You guys just saw a sneak little, what's the name? But Passive Income University. All right, here we go. So here is the logo, and here is the YouTube channel. I put a few free videos, different things like that the public could watch on there. But it'll be on this YouTube channel when it's all said and done. So once I get the recording from Zoom, I'm going to upload it to the Passive Income University YouTube channel, and it'll be there. And I'll probably have it public for like a week to 10 days, something like that. But like I said, at a minimum, just either subscribe to the YouTube channel or definitely register on the Zoom link so you get the reminder, right? But like I said, I'm going to say this one more time. Big shout out to Jen. I didn't even think about that, and I feel like that's two ways that I can give value. My community, they'll be able to access it forever, anytime. But the general public, I'll leave it up for like a week or 10 days. I even think there's a way to leave a recording up on Zoom in and of itself. But regardless, for the general public, it'll be available for some time to watch it if you're not able to watch it tomorrow. I know Saturdays in midday, early morning, people are going to have things popping, but just wanted to give y'all a chance there. Tia, thank you for the follow. Hunter Keegan says, thank you. Trying to take this summer to learn options trading for sure. Yes, tap in, lock in right now. If you got the summertime available, lock in on it. All right, Crypto Stocks Forex got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Got the GG. All right, Jose Hernandez, thanks for coming through. Okay. So you guys, we went through the Home Depot trade. I showed y'all the ExxonMobil. I think let's talk about. I think there was another one on Amazon. I really love trading Amazon. So one thing I want to encourage you all to do, and you're gonna hear Curtis G. You're gonna hear me say this a lot, is to really put information and data into your trading journal. One thing that I discovered recently is that Amazon is by far my most profitable stock that I trade. And I didn't even realize that until I went back through and I could see all of my trades in my journal, and I was able to organize the data to see, oh snap, like Amazon is usually where I do the best. And so if you ever hear of certain traders that they only trade one thing, right? If they do commodities, they do silver or gold, or if they do futures, they only do NQ, or Forex, they only do certain pairs. I'm learning for me that one of my go-tos is Amazon. I just do really well with it. But with that being said, this was for June 13th, yesterday. So let's do one more breakdown. I won't keep y'all too late. We'll do one more breakdown. So let me go to the trading chat room. Let me see where I broke down the Amazon before it happened. Let's go. Let's see. Thank y'all for the likes. We hit 1K. Where is the Amazon trade? Here we go. This is what I was looking at. This was June 12th at 8:43 a.m. Is that the right one? Let me make sure. I trade Amazon a lot. I just want to make sure that's the right one. This was the 13th. Took profits on Amazon. This was yesterday. Why does it say June 30th? Oh, that's right. The 13th was yesterday. I'm tripping. Okay. So now if we go back to the trading chat room. All right. And here it is. So I put it in twice. So June 12th, I said I got my eyes on Amazon for a potential quick scalp if it hits the top of the pricing channel, both on the daily and the 30-minute time frame. So this is what it was looking like. On the top, that's the daily chart. And on the bottom, that's the 30 minutes. So you guys can see very clearly, it's nothing super complicated. It's nothing very complex or intricate, right? I just draw like a broadening formation or a pricing channel. We see it bounces off the bottom, hits the top, come down, bounce up, boom, boom, boom. So I was waiting for Amazon to hit the top up here to come on down. And then right here, like I said on the 13th, I said good morning. Still watching Amazon for a hit off either side of this broadening formation. One more time. So just was looking at it real tight, just paying close attention to it. All right. So that's what I was looking for. And I see your question, Chocolate Beauty, so I'm not going to forget you. But let me just finish up this recap on this trade. And so I'll go over to Curtis G Trades. And then here it was yesterday. I got in on this Amazon, $905. I got 5 contracts. I got to be careful of my language because TikTok will think that something else is going on that's not going on. I try to be as quick as I can to put in the screenshots when I get in the trade. And then boom, really quick, took the profits right there, which was about 13%. So my average trade is about 1K. Got to use certain words specifically. And then I typically aim for 5 to 10% profit on the trades. So I'm not one of those traders that needs to have 100% gram slam home run every single time. I'm a very conservative trader. I like to get my base hits. I like to see them compound up, get my base hits consistently, and just let them add up and pile up. But to her question, Chocolate Beauty says, how long did it take you to learn how to trade? And I think kind of what you mean is, how long before I became profitable and things like that. And I'm going to kind of answer this 2 ways. The literal concepts of trading, at the very, very beginning, they're kind of complex, right? But after a while, it gets easy to understand them, right? If you like to use EMA, those moving averages, if you like RSI or MACD and all that kind of stuff, when you first get into trading, it's a little bit confusing. But after a while, what you realize is they all kind of tell you the same things in different ways, right? In different ways. I'll give you an example. My grandmother used to say, most people around the world, we all use the same ingredients to cook, but we just prepare them differently. Some people will deep fry chicken, some people will grill chicken, some people will bake it, but at the end of the day, you're going to get protein from the chicken. That might be a really cheesy example. Now, more so to the deeper part of the question, Chocolate Beauty, it took me a solid 3 years to get control of my emotions when it came to trading. That was the biggest part. And you probably hear this all the time. It may sound corny or cliche, but I'm going to keep it real with you. That's the biggest part. 90% of it is just psychology, right? Not getting greedy, not being fearful, sticking to your rules. When you get that under control, everything else will fall in line. You don't need to have some crazy super strategy, because at the end of the day, guess what? All of the strategies work to some degree, and all of them don't work to some degree. So it's really more so about the trader. But I will tell you this. Give me just a moment. Where is it at? The number one thing that really helped me start getting comfortable with my psychology was this book right here by Mark Douglas called Trading in the Zone. This was like the first real stepping block starter stone that helped me get my psychology under control. And then the next thing that really helped was having a trading journal. So I'm going to show y'all my trading journal right now. And I'll tell y'all what I all put in my trading journal so that hopefully it may help you. But we're going to go into this in great detail tomorrow morning. So, like I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if you are interested, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. West Coast time, I'm going to have a free webinar, Options Trading for Beginners. I'm going to do it in Zoom because I have more ability to give an immersive, engaging experience. When I'm on TikTok, I'm a little limited to the screen. I got to squeeze everything down in here, but let me show you my trading journal and the things that I have in my trading journal that really help me with my psychology. All right, so here's my trading journal. And see, this is part of the reason why I want to go on Zoom, because it's hard to put all of this down so that it fits on TikTok. But of course, I have the entry date, exit date, the symbol, the type of options trade that I was trying to do. Of course, the computer's freezing up. And then was it calls or puts? The style, was it a swing trade or a scalp? What was the signal time if I did have a signal time? Some of my strategies rely on a signal time. And then did I follow one of my predefined setups? No, yes, whatnot. And then over here, I have the pattern type if I was using a pattern. And then here are the most important things that really, really help me with my psychology, right? I add these on my journal. I have, let me move this over. I have the notes, the lesson, or the rationale from the trade. What was I really thinking? And then I have a column for emotional intelligence. You really want to be aware of how did you feel in that trade. The number one thing that I want to feel is peaceful and patient. If I don't feel peaceful and patient in my trade, then that's already a sign that I shouldn't be in it. And then I have a column for my improvement. I have a column for improvement opportunities. And then I have a column for areas of success. And then, of course, the cost, the sale, was it a profit or loss, and then the percentage of the profit or loss. So here we are as of June. I'm at $441. I haven't done much trading this month. Like even this week, I think I've only done 3 trades for the entire week. But I just wanted to show you guys that. We're going to go into it in the detail tomorrow. But that's really the biggest thing, is understanding your emotional intelligence. And then once you write it down, like, right, here's a good one right here. In this trade, yeah, see, this is why it's going to be a lot better on Zoom. On this trade from June 3rd, my ExxonMobil calls, I was going for a scalp. But what happened was I had become impatient. I became restless with the options contract movement and activity from the Starbucks trade. So I was in this Starbucks trade that wasn't really moving. And then I got impatient and felt like I needed to find another trade. And so I got into this ExxonMobil. I kind of forced myself to get into it. And as a result, I took a loss. All because I got impatient. I got restless because the Starbucks trade wasn't moving the way that I wanted it to. So now, because I understand that rationale, I know that if I want to not have that happen in the future, then I typically got to find ticker symbols or companies that move a little bit faster, because I know I'll get restless. I know myself. Or I have to be really locked in and understand, okay, this particular trade is just going to move slowly. But that's where you want to hone in on your triggers when it comes to your emotions. All right, let me go through. I know there's a lot of comments, so y'all bear with me. Let me read through the comments. All right, got a few follows. Thank y'all. I got a Bolt from Crypto Stocks. Thank you so much. Potter Stocks says, do not take signals ever. It will ruin you for a long time. Potter Stocks, that's very, very true. So the whole name of the game is for me to be able to show y'all how to fish for yourselves. I like to just put in my trading community at least the rationale. So at least you understand my thought process behind the trade, right? Because there may be times where I'm not able to put the signal or get in, and you don't want to rely on signals. I've done it plenty of times. I've joined Discords and I was like, all right, I'll just copy this person's trades. And I had to learn the hard way that, there were times I saw a trade signal and then I tried to get in and it was too late, right? And then I was like, okay, if it's more than 2 minutes that the person posted it, then I won't get in. All those different things. And then I tried to do I won't take the trade unless I'm paying the exact same amount that they paid. And then even when I did that, I would either get stopped out of the trade or whatever, because I really didn't understand their logic and their rationale for why they took it. So the number one thing I want to do is put in my trades, or at least my charting, and then you can ask the questions and see what my rationale is after I break it down. All right. So Potter Stocks, big shout out there. Chocolate Beauty says, oops, yes, you're perfect, right? Getting past that psychological part. Potter says the signals are great. You got to understand the signal. Right, exactly. That's what I was saying, Crypto Stocks. You have to really understand the rationale. All right. Skyward 866, what program do you use to journal? All right. Chocolate Beauty, thank you for the follow. So to Skyward 866, I use two things to journal. I use one, my own developed Excel, which I highly encourage people to do. And so I have this Excel spreadsheet here that I use. And then I also have signed up with that platform TradeZella. Now, TradeZella is a bit pricey, and the only way that I would really recommend TradeZella is if you're the type of person that when you get new technology or a new product, you use all of the features, you use all of the functions, you really get your money's worth, because it is a pricey thing. But the cool thing about TradeZella is it connects directly to your broker, so your trades automatically get logged, and then all you have to do is just go ahead and add your notes and add your details. But I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let me go over to TradeZella. Yeah, this is why tomorrow during the, what's the name? The Zoom would be better. But let's go to TradeZella right quick. Hold on. I just want to show y'all what it looks like. It is kind of pricey. I think it's like $300 or $400 a year, something like that. Hold on. All right. And let's see. We want to go to this month. Okay, so here's what TradeZella looks like. It's really nice. It's really fancy. It has all these data points for you. It gives you your win rate, your trade expectancy. This is my stats for the month of June so far. Things like that. It gives you all these nice little charts and things, and you can see how you're doing and how you did. Really cool. You can see all the trades, so you can see it all that there. So it's really good at giving you the data and visualizing the data. And if you don't want to do any of that manual work like an Excel spreadsheet, TradeZella is going to take care of all this for you, but it is a bit pricey. So, I would say if you're not the type of person that really uses all the features and functions, then start off with an Excel sheet, add your own columns and the own things you want to make note of. Or if you know you're going to get your money's worth and you're the type of person that really digs in, you roll up your sleeves and you use all the features, then sign up for TradeZella, because it'll be worth the money to you. They give you all kind of data analysis and everything like that. Like, I think at one point TradeZella was saying my worst trading days were on Thursdays. So I knew to be a little bit different in my psychology on Thursdays. I also learned from TradeZella that I'm the most profitable if a trade is 10 minutes or less. Typically, if a trade is more than 10 minutes, then it's probably getting very shaky and it probably won't be successful for me. And so TradeZella gives you all that kind of data. It breaks it all down for you. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank y'all for running the likes up. We're almost at 4K on the likes. All right, user 3151929538176 says, where is the Zoom link and what time is the EST? So the Zoom link is in the bio. The Zoom link is in my bio, and it's going to be at 1 o'clock East Coast time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. But I definitely encourage everybody to be live, but one of the audience members helped me land on a new idea. I believe it was Jen or Jess. Forgive me, sister. But what I am going to do is, if you're unable to make it, because I know it's short notice, right? We probably all got plans for Saturday for tomorrow. If you're unable to make it, I am going to have the recording available for people to play it. Now, the recording is going to be available on my Passive Income University YouTube channel. It'll be up, and it'll be available to the general public for probably like 7 days or 10 days. And then after that, it will only be available to members of the community, of the Discord community, Passive Income University. But I just wanted to tap in with y'all because it is short notice, so I wanted to go live at least 2 times today. If you didn't see my earlier live, this is the second one, just to remind everybody, doing a little bit of trading recap, let y'all know about the webinar tomorrow morning, and then we'll tap in. I appreciate everybody, appreciate all of you. And of course, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a DM, whatever I can do to help and give value. All right, y'all. Peace.